for a pencil.
Hi, everyone.
Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Take a Breath.
Sorry, I had to die over that for a minute.
Because apparently
that's-
pencils are a thing now.
Have you read chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I'm
said
really good
hello.
at ignoring it. I digress. Welcome
Hi,
to another
y'all.
episode of Take a Breath, our weekly review of our chronicle, The Last Breath, Vampire the Masquerade. I'm joined today by our very own, who should I start with? Fuck it. Junie Von Esch, Storyteller Extreme.
She's like, I'm trying to shove food in my mouth, you dick.
Yeah.
That's why he did it.
Straight under the bus. Yeah, it was calculated. We're joined by Nerdy Encounters, aka Charmelia,
Not wrong.
by Dr. Sexy Pants. I mean, Psy, playing Dr. Sexy Pants. And myself,
Sexy
Mystic 7 Gaming, aka Frank DiSerono. Or not Frank DiSerono.
No,
I
that's
misfucked
wrong.
that one. I'm gonna shut
Wow!
Bad. No Frank DiSerono.
No,
I don't practice DiSerono.
no, Edward Watch.
Edward Frank Watts.
Frankward.
Frankward.
I will stake the first motherfucker that says that.
Frankward.
After I get out.
Frankfurt, come at me, bitch!
Frankward.
So let's just dive straight in, yeah? Yesterday was a shit show.
Yesterday was
Yes.
hilarious.
Oh my
Don't
God.
touch the
Beautiful
box.
shit show.
Don't touch the box.
Well, you
Fuck
see
the
how
box.
well you did that. But let's start off with the most important part. We went camping with our very own
Abel,
Abel. Thank you.
Yeah,
I was thinking
let's-
Ed, and I was like, no.
you're at this season.
We're gonna like glaze over the camping, right?
Yeah.
It was-
Extremities were lost.
2
mediocre
parts
things were happening.
hilarious, 1 part gory.
And didn't he take off someone's head
At some point, yeah.
on the way
That
out the door?
Didn't say anything. I'm just
So-
gonna foam my mouth.
Moving past that, there was a shit show that
Oh,
happened,
gosh.
if I remember right.
But we did learn, kind of.
We learned
Did
nothing.
we learn something? What
Did we learn? I don't
Did
think
we
we
learn?
learned anything. I think we learned don't touch the box, but also fuck the box.
No,
So-
what you learned from the camping experience was that all 3 of them were connected. Henry did all the financials. You found out that the bishop's or the pastor's wife was actually their lawyer.
Yes, Tanari, that Abel's fucked up beyond belief. That's what we learned.
Mhm.
And then the pharmaceutical guy made all the drugs for psychedelic means.
Sounds about right. So subsequently, what happened? I feel like the scene panned to the 3 of y'all with
So-
Tanari.
It was Olivia and Amelia had finished their lecture with Cassius, and then we pretty much just went
You-
home, and that was
You
the
mean
end.
Amelia took a nap.
Right. Amelia's eyes glazed over, and she died of boredom.
Got embraced, to die to boredom again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cassius is like, I hope to see you again. Amelia's like, please no, thank you.
Her and
And
Charlotte
then we
were
went
shadow
home.
boxing.
That was the end of the night, and then in the process of like resolving things that had happened throughout the week, I know that Frank had made a phone call. Gabe made some phone calls.
Amelia did fuck all.
And Frank still
Amelia
hasn't reached out to
did.
Rachel in IRL. Oh, that'll be fun. She's gonna be in the warehouse. Like, where the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yep.
And we
Oh.
don't know about that.
Done goofed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going ahead and start with your phone call.
Oh, mine? Oh, TLDR. Awkward introductions of Frank and Rachel. Offer of exchange of information regarding the issue that Joshua had been working on here in Joliet. And yeah, that more or less was my phone call. Like, it's not much to really divulge there.
Yeah. And then mine with the 3 different Tremere was basically along the lines of how some of the it was vaguely about how no, because you and I see, I'm getting all myself confused because you and I had gone to the Tremere Chantry
Yep.
during the
To
week,
research the curse.
and doing the research of the curse, we found that different bloodlines were definitely affected differently. Then with the call with the Tremere,
Drive safe.
we had talked about keeping up an exchange of information. I was able to get Sarah transported to Rush in Chicago, and was granted safe passage to Rush in Chicago, which is good. Is there anything I'm forgetting about that, Junie?
3 phone calls you made to each Tremere. They were specialized in several different things. One was done in spirit, one was done in body, and the other one was more of that blood doctor thing.
That's right.
And you realized that all of them were interconnected because they were all weaved into the same kind of disease or curse.
Right.
And you realized that it was people who touched a certain object or certain objects that were cursed. It affected the human's blood. And then when the vampire took it, or the vampire fed on those people, it affected their spirit, it affected their bodies, and it, of course, affected their blood. Most important.
Right. And
So-
that's important. Glad I asked.
That I was going to bring that one up. Everything was being interwoven. And you also did realize that being a Tremere, and that you do have blood sorcery, you did realize through your intelligence and occult roll that was an ancient magic and an ancient form of curse, because your bloodline wasn't even factored into it really, because you weren't when this curse was taking place. The Tremere were not in existence. That's why different bloodlines can handle that curse differently.
That brings a question. So, the Tremere weren't in existence at that time, but aren't all vampires children of Cain?
That's where they still get affected, but they don't get affected as much.
So, how did the Tremere come about then?
Oh.
Mages trying to get immortality.
Mages.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. The Renta vamps.
The
Yes.
Order
The Renta
of
mages.
the Order of Hermes, Tremere.
That's right.
He decided to diablerize and do something with a Celebria and a couple other things. If you guys don't really know, there's a book for that. Anyhow,
Yeah. I was just curious because that's not a piece of lore that I remember because I haven't played a Tremere. So.
yeah, no. And what happens is actually Tremere are known as usurpers. That they usurped the normal way of becoming a vampire, and that they cheated their way into living forever. Actually, if you have forces, I believe. No, if you have life 6 or 7, which you're an archmage, you can start to try and live forever. But once you get life 10, you're like, you're immortal. Unfortunately, Tremere didn't want to go to an archmage status. It said, "Fuck these bitches. I'm gonna go totally into being a vampire because drinking blood is cool." So
It is cool.
So that's a long
I
and
enjoy
short.
Give me all the Capri Suns.
It's magically delicious.
Yeah.
And you get to use magic while you're a vampire. So sorcerer for the win,
Yeah.
pretty much.
A little different.
So
little different.
that's how Tremere came about in the short, like 30-second LTR.
Yeah, appreciate that. So moving forward from that, if I remember, Frank reached out to Amelia to divulge some things that were happening in Chicago on the 3rd, as well as mention the fact that her brother William got brought up.
Dickwad.
Well, not a dickwad, just not as smart as he should be.
So
Just wait until you find out it's a changeling pretending to be him.
Yeah, that wouldn't even surprise me at this point.
He was actually kidnapped. Anyways. So, yeah, that was briefly brought up. Then, if I remember right, Amelia reached out to
William.
William floundered a bit and brought up, well, is family more important? And Charlotte was like, not at 10K a day. Fuck you, buddy.
I mean, pretty much. You're fucking with her money at this point.
Yeah, but she's got plenty of money, and he knows that she knows how to hold on to it. They've known each other for...
Again, you're fucking
Over
with
a
her money
century.
at this point.
Oh, she has too much of it. I've seen all the 20. I've seen the 20 zeros at the end of her bank account. She can McFuck herself.
Spava, thank you. Thank you, Sync, for following us.
Because Sava sink.
I know, right?
Probably the best sink
Savava
ever.
float, not sink.
No,
Huh?
but it's her sink that followed, not her
No, the sink in
float.
her kitchen just followed us.
Yes.
It's gained sentience. We're boned. Mages in the sinks now. All right,
Oh,
moving
Jesus.
forward. So that happened, and
Have
then I
fun,
feel
Tanari.
like later's
Oh, then wait. When did this happen?
Thursday.
Right. And then I don't think there was anything until Saturday, right?
Right.
Feels right.
Yeah.
What I did was, and I think I'm gonna do this a bit more depending on how you guys are doing stuff. Is if we have like a carryover, we'll finish off that scene that we're doing, and then we'll
We
go
tend
to
to
your
have
goals.
a lot of carryovers.
Right, I know. I'm sorry. My bad.
No,
But-
it just means
It's
that we
not
don't
your
have enough
fault.
time to play. We should seriously just be dumping 24 hours of a Saturday into Vampire.
I can't do that.
I agree.
I can't. I physically cannot do that, guys.
I would love
Wow.
to, but usually my cutoff's at about 7 hours.
It's fine though. We can sleep during the day like real vampires.
I'm pretty
Method
sure
acting.
Mr. Nerdy would have a problem with this.
Yeah. So, well, no. What I'm thinking of is when we have carryovers, I think it's easier to do the goals in sesh because as we are going through whatever we finish those lines, those goals might have changed.
Right.
Yeah.
So if
agree.
that's okay with you guys, when we do the carryovers, we can just do goals in sesh so people can see where your goals have changed or where they have realigned, and then we can handle it on like if when we had to do the Amelia William call.
Yeah, because
was
Amelia
awful.
really didn't have any goals
Right.
up until
She just likes collecting money.
And I knew I had to give a TLDR to Gabe because it was 3 phone calls, and you can only do so many phone calls. And I apologize.
Right.
If I
No. I was totally okay. with that.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. Cool.
I would have been like dragged on forever if it had been like 3 separate phone calls.
Right,
So,
and I'm
yeah.
thinking, you know what? We gotta keep. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I am doing my best to try and keep things rolling, so that session doesn't go. Oh my God, Junie, can we just stake you and just get it done and over with?
I mean, I did threaten to set you on fire yesterday. Just saying.
Well, that's because you touched a box.
Fuck
you-
the
Of course,
box.
might be easier.
Speaking of the box,
So,
so
yeah.
Saturday.
I'm not gonna say any names, but it rhymes with Harhelia. Might have.
I was looking
Poked a
at the
box.
box. I was investigating the box. No one
And-
had investigated the box,
no.
and I have a cult out the ass.
No. Let's not blame Charmelia on this one because she's not the one who did something to the box.
I mean, I had it contained. I digress.
Did
You're
you though?
putting the
You have it
Malkavian
contained?
in front of the horse.
No,
Okay.
I'm the Malkavian.
Calm down.
So, long story short.
Too late.
there. Malky. No.
Somebody-
No. This is important. We have to go through every detail.
Right, no, I know. I start long story short. It's still gonna be a long story.
Oh, okay.
So, Charmelia touched the box, failed
Investigated.
willpower, and wound up hearing voice in head. Voice in head. Junie, would you like to do impersonation?
I'm making sure my mic is
Thank
up.
you.
So-
Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
How are you? Hello in there.
So she hears voice in head and starts freaking out.
But she's Malkavian, so really,
So you guys were like, is she actually freaking out? Is
Yeah.
she okay? What is going
And
So
this
the
is-
rest of us were like, huh, this doesn't seem good. Nobody touch box.
on?
and then we
that
start-
was because I was
The
yelling.
box
the
was
box.
moving,
and Charmelia was poking the box.
and
Back
we're
in
like,
place.
back.
and then somebody said something about a La Bamba possibly being in the box.
And somebody called Frank, and Frank got
Somebody called Frank.
Yes.
So Frank
Beginning of
Frank
the
and
end.
Gabe both go upstairs about the same time. Frank decides to set up little
Four UV
thing
lamps
around box
and
with UV
little
lamps.
dowels that he hammered into the fucking floor. So
And Gabe was like anti-vampire magnetic field around it. And then somebody started yelling about lighting the box on fire.
Why did you burn
And
the
somebody in
box?
chat was like, fire, 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 fire.
I wanted to burn the box.
Which rhymes with Lee Litton.
And about this time, there's a knock on the door. And
it's
Olivia goes to answer
an
it.
attractive ghoul of Russian variety.
It's a pretty ghoul. And
Let me see if we still have her. I got her face claim. Give me a second. Because
Yeah,
I
she's
was
pretty.
smart. Sort of. Not really. Kinda. Yeah. Here, hold on. Copy link.
Copy.
Copy pasta. There you are. That's what she looks like.
it's not the same. It's not the same with the voices in the Malk set. It's a different voice.
It's a different voice.
You
It's
get
a little
used
bit
to
more-
some voices, you know? She's a,
Like,
yeah, we do
Amelia
need to
is
clip.
used to hearing Charlotte's voice.
You
and
should
vice
clip it
versa.
then, DeRitten.
Clip it. Go ahead.
Clip it.
I'll
clip
say it more
real
if you need
good.
me to. So yeah, pretty ghoul at the door, and she's like,
So,
"Hey, I am Russian. I am Russian friend of father.
I'm
with
comrade."
a boss or something. Your brother father in trouble.
Your brother, father.
duh.
Shorthanding all this, all right? And Olivia's like, hey Gabe, can I deal with this? And Gabe's like, not right now because we have this to deal with.
Yep.
Come back later. We call.
Amelia's going crazy. Fuck no.
So Olivia was like, well, yeah, let's do this later. And the ghoul, the pretty ghoul, was like, well, you know, later's not great. And she's like, please later. And she's like, sure. So they're
Ah.
supposed to meet up, what, the following night? Or
Call later on.
Call
there's
later
gonna
on.
just be a call.
And then we called the next night because of events that occurred.
Right.
Yeah.
So pretty ghoul leaves. Olivia comes back upstairs. And
now, was it a ghoul or was it a vampire?
It was a ghoul.
It was a ghoul.
It was a ghoul.
It was a ghoul.
Okay.
Because baby vamp was like, I smell something, and it smells
Right.
kind of delicious.
Okay.
Yes.
So then, were you guys fighting over the lighter at this point, or did Frank
Yes,
just
I
No,
was
he
slipping
gave
it.
me the lighter.
I did a stealth roll through Junie to pass her the lighter,
That's right.
and to which Amelia, if I recall, and I apologize if my verbiage is incorrect, but hell the fuck yes! Is that right? Did I do
Yes.
that right? Did I
Yes,
get the
you did
inflection
that
right?
right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you did. To which Olivia went, "Oh fuck no!"
And to which Gabe is like, "Well, this is going to be a train wreck." Like,
As if it
So-
wasn't already.
so then Amelia goes and finds some oil, and Gabe's like, "Well, if we're going to do this, I'm going to prepare some shit because this is going to be bad."
Yep.
And then brings the oil upstairs, tosses it into, like, throw it at the box through the ward, makes a line all the way to her, and then lights it. And
Comically.
things start burning, and it gets to the box, and it stops.
Yeah.
It causes a little damage to the box, and shadows try to escape the box.
No, it didn't cause any
not
damage.
There was
the
no
box.
damage to the
Oh,
box.
there's no damage to the
No.
box. I
There was no
apologize.
damage to the box.
Oh, so how did the shadows start eking out of the box then?
They were eking out of the box before them. That's why it was.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
Because
UV light.
the fire, the charred wood and everything caused some
yeah,
shadows.
because
So,
Junie doesn't know how shadows work.
Right?
and Amelia started almost frenzying.
No, I
Because
did
of,
start frenzying.
you did start
You
frenzying,
stopped
so
Oh yeah,
Gabe
I stopped her
the
and you stabbed her.
I just stabbed her with a pin. That was it. And
Yeah.
then extinguished the fire and was like, well, this was obviously a bad idea. And then, as I was going to reward the circle, you were like, wait a minute.
Oh no,
let
it's
me
because
do
things
this
were
thing.
popping out of it.
Right.
So
So,
I
you were
start-
trying to far hand or far reach. Is
The
that what
mage
it's called?
hand. Effectively
Mage
the
hand.
mage hand.
Yeah.
It's effectively mage hand.
Mage hand these some bitches
Vampire
back in the
pimp hand.
box.
And then
And then he makes a deal and stands in the ward.
yeah.
And he's like, fuck it, mage hands the box open.
yes,
Left.
yes, he did.
And then we wake up the next night because nobody died in the living room.
No, Olivia shot me.
Oh yeah!
Yeah,
can't
so-
Oh, yeah, we
so
called
Olivia
Gwen,
shot
and we
me.
called
as
Gwen.
he
And
made
we
this
called Gwen.
deal with whoever's in the box, these shadows come out. It's darkness all around. Olivia shoots Amelia, and then
We
Fade
called
to black.
Gwen.
no, yeah, it was
We
called Gwen.
called Gwen. Yeah, before I popped open the box, Charmelia called Gwen and got voicemail.
Right.
And Junie, just OOC, was the Fix-It Gwen's actually audible?
She tried to argue that it wasn't, even though the phone was in the shroud.
No, okay, when you're in the shroud,
Mm-hmm.
it's La Bamba shit. La Bamba shit doesn't work in the middle of a shroud. You hear fuck all.
Okay.
I mean, I heard when in season 1, when I was corresponding with what's her face when she used Oblivion.
Yeah, but she didn't use
I heard
shroud.
the entire conversation. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, but
In the stairwell.
You can hear it because you were right next to her.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Well, then by that logic, the phone should have picked up me
Something.
talking.
Well, wait, no. Is the
No,
difference you
because-
both were in the shroud, and in this case, one's out of the shroud, one's in?
No, they were both in the shroud standing next to each other talking to each
So
other.
that's why it worked. But Gwen's not in the shroud.
On top
Right,
of that,
it's the
with
phone.
it's the phone, because of
Right.
the La Sombra Bane against technology,
oh, it just crackled and shit.
pretty much that's all you did.
Okay.
So she heard the caller ID. She saw the caller ID from when she picked up the phone, and then she just heard the
Gwen never picked up the phone. You never texted
right. No,
her
the
first.
voicemail.
Right.
Right. No, so on the voicemail,
Yeah.
she
All
hears.
she heard was yes. Exactly.
Something like that. Can somebody clip that too? Because that was.
Donald fucking
That was
I
pretty
need
good.
that on my soundboard, please.
I'd like to make that my text tone. So, you know.
Yes, please, by all means, clip. If you guys find things that are good, please clip because I'm starting to try and get all of the clips together to make another reel.
A season 2 reel.
A season 2 reel.
Bloopers.
Although getting to watch the season 1 reel again yesterday, because I haven't actually watched it in a while, that was
Yeah.
great. We were such tiny vampires.
I was such a baby.
You guys are still tiny vampires.
I am older than you, thank you very much.
No, what I'm saying is like in
fuck-mothering
the
vampire.
grand
I'll
scheme of
eat
things, we're still tiny vampires.
I mean,
Yeah.
wrong.
Although, so moving forward, regardless of the La Bamba, we called Gwen, and he's like, "Oh, fix it, Gwen," and she doesn't hear that. All she hears is,
Right. So fade to black. Next morning, everybody's awake. Frank's
Next
still in the
night.
circle.
"I'm still in a
Next night,
circle."
yeah.
Yeah.
Morning, night, same thing.
Amelia's like, why the fuck is there a
Second
bullet hole
night.
in my shirt?
Yeah,
And he's like,
everyone
let me
forgot
out of the
everything.
circle. And Gabe was like, this is weird. And then did a thing so that he could see what had happened. Saw what happened and was like, oh, that's not good. And then said, Frank, stay in circle, and called Gwen.
Gwen's like, "Oh, you'll fix it. Just keep him in there."
Yeah, Gwen was like, long
Gwen-
story short, Gwen will be there in 24 hours. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 days.
Really now.
Tuesday is what she said, if I remember right. Because this was on Sunday.
Yep.
right.
So she said that she'd be there on Tuesday. I think we accelerated her plans a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't you mean you accelerated her plans a little bit, Mr. Fuck Shit Up?
Hey, I fixed it. I made the best possible choice I could.
Yeah, so because it was coming down to a decision of leave him in the circle as is or stake him.
Stake him, which, Frank doesn't think would help because if it's attached to his shadow. So, a couple different things happened. Didn't we use Scry the Soul to look at my shadow?
Yeah,
We used
yeah.
A couple other things, and we verified that something was actually there. And Frank's just like,
Yeah.
if I'm able to move, then I'm not a liability. But if she takes me over, then that's a liability. So, I mean, the best options here are either burn me alive, which, Frank's not about killing himself like James is. So we're going to put a pin in that one. So, ultimately, Frank's perspective on that is, well, I'm just going to stall until we can come up with a better option. And I crit my pants.
Well, here's the funny
Yeah.
thing is that the reason why you did it is because why? You were feeling that force of will that she was taking you over.
Yeah. So I removed the choice from her and the choice from me. And, I mean, it seemed to have worked for the time
Basically
being.
froze himself.
Yeah,
And at
he
least
was-
he
on his
didn't crit
face.
anyone else's pants.
He
He got like
became
a crit
Elsa.
11 on him.
I got a crit 11. Like, I
Yeah.
literally just, I froze with a shit-eating grin, just standing right in the middle, brushing against this fucking ward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you totally pulled an Elsa. At
At
least you didn't crit anyone else's pants. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I'm stuck in a ward. I couldn't clean it up. It would just get on the ceiling, It's
Have a
nasty.
chair.
And then Amelia got a phone call from Gwen going, "Who's fucking with time?" To which
Yeah.
Amelia answered, "Who the fuck do you think?"
Which they then discovered some keys and 2 dead bodies related to Olivia.
Which brings me to a question. Is that related to the time shit, or is that just something that she found?
The keys, I'm assuming, are Sybil's box.
So she got out of the box. So this isn't Sybil, is the bottom line, is what I'm getting. It's somebody that imitated Sybil.
Or
in
maybe
the
it
box.
is Sybil and we have to put it in the box.
No,
So
because
from
that would
what
have shown up.
I
in season
understand
1.
of the lore, Methuselahs can influence things outside of where they are torpid.
Right, as we
and-
found out with Ed getting a literal tree
Right.
through his torso.
Right. And what's in the box is Sybil, but she is also in Chicago. This was bringing her soul back to Chicago.
Oh, great. So we're going to have to kill her soul.
Oh, very important. Art showed up at one point and got super distracted by Yarn.
Also, she and Charmelia had a fight, if I remember right.
We're still having a fight. The fight has
Yeah.
not been resolved yet.
The family love is just so clear in this season.
Oh, wait till the fight with
Can
William,
you
because
feel
she has to have a fight
the-
with William, too.
Oh, you don't have
Yeah.
to have a fight with William. Also, William's going to be incognito like the next week because he's trying to usurp Josh right now.
There will be a fight with
Great.
William.
This will be entertaining.
And by
So
usurp
I think
Josh.
I think
go
we wound up ending on the note of
Things are fucked up and Gwen is coming.
yeah, but somebody had to meet Olivia's weird Russian school.
Oh,
pretty
right,
friend.
yeah. We had
Yeah.
established to meet at Nix's bar Wednesday.
Mhm.
And that's the same night that Frank's supposed to be meeting a certain mage that nobody knows about.
Yeah,
Well,
So-
Gwen will fix it before then. It'll be fine.
maybe. Until
Or-
that time, Doctor's gonna be keeping his eye on you.
Well, if he gets in my head, I'll be like, well, I have a meeting, so
I mean, there's not really a whole lot I can do about that.
yeah. No, you could go on my behalf because you're familiar with everything. You and I share information like, it's going out of style.
Yeah, but the thing
Well,
is that
yeah.
they don't know about that you actually had the meeting with the mage set up. You're still frozen in
Yeah.
time, sir.
No, that's yeah.
Yeah.
That brings a
Yeah.
question. So if a Tremere were hypothetically to, kind of reach out and say like, "Hey, are you in there?" and telepathically, would I stir or would it just be
yeah.
Effectively that.
Yeah.
So really, he couldn't really easily tell us that he had
Yeah.
a meeting anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just something that either we'll figure out before then or we don't.
Rachel
Hey.
has my phone number,
Great.
so you'll hear my phone go off in the middle of the room.
Yeah, except what am I supposed to do about it?
There's
Oh,
a
wait,
ward.
Olivia has your phone.
Exactly.
Olivia has
Yep.
your phone.
Yep, that works.
So it works
But
out.
what is the question, Doritten? Doritten said that the question becomes something. What is the
Some
What
of
is
these
question
plots are
What's the
delicious. The question
I
then
need another
becomes,
question.
Are they?
What's the question?
Is anyone in the group going to watch Frank's place now?
Frank. Frank is the one who's
Frank's
scared
the only one
enough
who
to
cares.
watch Frank's place.
I mean, I have an app
Because-
on my phone that goes off whenever somebody gets in the security cam range.
Part of the other problem is that 2 of our people are basically contractually obligated to watch the puppy. So
yeah.
that leaves one person to keep an eye on Frank. So it's not like we have another person to go watch Frank's plays.
So you're saying
is
that we
true.
need to hire another vampire
Which, I mean,
of
Yes.
the NPC variety. Maybe
I mean,
Gwen's bastard child. That
I
she,
considered
isn't proud of?
I'm considering ghouling the cat
The cat's
The
cool.
cat has been ghouled.
Oh, yeah.
by me.
No.
You ghouled the cat?
No. Apparently, someone else has taken over responsibility for the cat.
Oh,
The
Olivia's
gangrel.
ghouled it. Okay.
Oh, did she
Olivia!
ever resolve those stains?
Oh,
She had a
No.
stain from Golan.
No.
Did she ever
Me?
resolve that?
No.
Me?
No. The cat was already ghouled.
The cat was
Right,
ghoul already.
Once
when
the cat
somebody
is-
else ghouls.
If you're
Yes, I resolved those stains.
Okay.
Yeah, no, those had been resolved.
Oh, those were
Okay.
resolved while
No, I'm
ago.
talking about when Olivia ghouled the cat.
No, okay, so this is how it works. If Frank decided to turn around and ghoul Nerdy, then he has to pick up stains. If
Because it's a fresh ghouling.
correct.
But if Gwen were to ghoul her and then I
we're
subsequently kept
assuming-
it up.
We're assuming I'm not already a ghoul.
well, okay, storyteller time, you're not a ghoul.
I understand. Okay.
No, yeah, it's pretty much if it's a fresh ghouling, that's when you have to obtain the stains. If by continuing to ghoul after somebody has already been ghouled, there are no stains to pick up because you can't pick up somebody else's stains, and they are already a ghoul technically, so therefore
fair. That's
no
fair.
stains
That makes
to
sense.
occur.
So it's not fresh because it's you ghouling the person.
Gotcha.
Because it's pre-existing. It's just like, well, you slipped in under the radar.
Pretty much, I mean, if you're so pretty much, yeah, because the cat's already been ghouled by Portia. Portia took the stains.
Gotcha.
As Olivia is now picking up once the ghouling wears off of the cat, and Olivia then ghouls the cat with her blood, there's no stains being taken.
Okay. I think I follow. Ghouls are so hard to
It's
keep
like
up.
buying a
since
co-
the cat's now ghouled, we
Yeah.
could essentially send the cat to keep an eye on Frank's place. Although we also have 2 familiars, so
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Beatrice and then you got Edgar Allan Poe.
what did I
Right.
name? I don't even remember what I named the bird. Is that probably just
Yeah.
bird? Same thing.
No, you had a
call
name.
cat. It's probably just bird.
No, you had a name for your bird. I just went with Beatrice because, I mean, that'd be a badass name
I
for
don't
a
remember.
finch.
Hold on, Written's like, no.
Edgar Allan
Crow.
Poe. Yeah.
Well, that's
But
that's actually
Yeah,
that's Abel's.
Abel's.
That's Abel's.
Yeah. I have a
Abel's is
finch.
Edgar. Yes.
Yeah, you have the finch.
That's what we were calling. We're calling it Finch. Because you never
Okay,
gave us
you
a
had a
name.
real name
Yeah.
for it though. You had a real name for it.
I don't remember.
I went with
I
Beatrice.
forget
It
my name.
sounds. It sounds.
It was probably just something I came up with off the top of my head. So.
Yeah. Probably a patient file. You're like, I'll remember.
Yeah, I'll call this one Sprite. I don't know. Like
Like James DiSerono looks over
Right.
at the model of DiSerono.
Right.
Art imitates life.
yeah. So yeah, I mean we have like things that we can send out.
Yeah.
But-
So, but it's it's not Chemo the Finch.
Chemo
Oh
the
God,
Finch. No.
Bad by radiation.
Wow.
damn.
All the radion detectors start going off and it flies by.
Oh Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and all the saints. So, no. Well, what's funny is that we have enough NPCs to turn around at the moment, and thanks to D. Written, he's actually helped me with a couple more fantastic and wonderfully delicious new NPCs that are
If you
coming
knew what
your
you knew, you
way.
wouldn't be clapping.
No. This is fine. This is all fine.
No.
This is
Because-
fine. Everything's on fire.
Because-
It's fine.
Because-
this is fine gif where it's the dog sitting at the table with a
Yeah.
cup of coffee and just everything around
And then
is
just
on
flips
fire.
the table and just like, no, this is not fine. Everything's burning.
No, but see, for
I like
me
that one.
as a storyteller, it's helpful when other people help me with the story, because you actually are taking invested interest into it, not just me and the players.
No,
but,
I know.
But as people that are watching it, going, "Hey, look it! I'm going to try my hand in this. Can you use this NPC?" Yeah, I can use it. I can never have not enough NPCs.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm throwing it at all these murder hobos. And I
I
said
am not
that
a murder hobo, thank you very much.
you haven't killed anyone yet.
I have to be paid to
Yeah.
kill things.
Have I killed anything yet?
No, but you took one to the chest already.
I think out of everybody, Gabe's the least murder hobo.
True. I'm also referring to last season too because your body count was pretty high.
Oh, Shaggy's was.
So for me, it's more of
Earthquake.
so
Murder
your murder
transient.
yes.
yeah.
So I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, if people do want to help and create, and I might not use everyone's NPC.
Murder favorite.
Understand, I cannot use everyone's, but that's not to say that I won't use it for next season or I won't use it a couple seasons down the line. It's more the fact of being able to throw more people at these at the characters, going, oh shit, how is this
These are
fitting into
originals.
it? They're doing what now? Olga was actually is a retainer for a fantastic character that D. Written had made me. So if you guys ever do think of ideas for characters, D. Written has the book. If you guys need the book, let me know. But I'm more than happy to share the wealth and share ideas and love for this game, and to throw NPCs to these guys. And I'm not saying we're all going to turn around and make, big, huge monsters. I will limit my high-powered... Yeah, I'm going to limit some of the huge monsters down to a few. Where
There's only one BBEG.
Yes.
It's Sybil.
Yes. But you've got all the mini-monsters, the mini-bosses, and then the subsequent lieutenants and shit after that.
Yeah, and we're going to start with public enemy number 1, Charmelia.
Well, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of last season you guys had a really, really, really good kind of knit idea of how World of Darkness worked. So now it's like, okay,
World just got bigger.
World just got bigger.
Yeah.
And it's not just dealing with one plot, not dealing with a couple of subplots. It's now working with several different huge chess pieces that are coming into play, and how do you guys all work around it to get to that end goal?
Yeah.
So I'm not just like going, oh, let's throw this person in for shits and giggles, or let's put that person in for shits. I'm actually taking all of these different NPC characters and ideas and putting into play so that you guys are getting hit with different characters, but still appreciating how you're going to handle those situations and moving up from or getting deterred by them. And I'm going to be the best I can with storytelling and keep it balanced.
You've been fine.
But
You don't improve, you're good.
but what I'm saying is I'm trying to keep it balanced so that you guys are going, oh my god, Junie, you're hitting us with left, right, and center. I didn't expect 4 antediluvians and a Methuselah. The fuck woman.
And a
No, thank
partridge
you.
in the pear tree.
No, thank you.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you.
It be what it be.
Actually, it's Edgar in the pear tree.
God.
Edgar and Finch.
Yep.
We're just gonna call Finch Finch. Because
So do we
Finch.
need to
Oh,
do anything goals wise right now, or
we could discuss goals briefly, and
Yeah, sure.
I do need to share my Rose and Thorn from yesterday, but I'm going to end on that if that's all right. Because because my character was frozen in time, it was just flying past me. I didn't hear shit.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, we can talk goals though.
Amelia's goals are easy. First goal: lecture Artemis for being a fucking child.
Not
Number
child.
Second goal: lecture William for being a fucking child.
Number 3.
3: use her 3 fucking point library to look into Sybil.
Oh shit. That's
Fair.
probably the best use of your
Actually-
time. I would just get rid of the first 2.
That look just tells me a whole lot of no. All right, do you want to roll that for the cult library?
roll it? Roll
I mean,
it.
you know
But
I
she's
have dice in
standing.
front of me.
I am aware that you have dice.
Are
in
they
front of me.
weighted?
No, they're not. I'm still
you
sanding
sure?
them.
So yes.
No, this is the polishing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is
so,
to get them to that nice candy glossy finish.
Gotcha. I was going to ask about that. We
Yeah,
could show
no.
those off at the end of this if that's all right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm totally cool with that because I have the 2 inked ones.
Do you want to roll it?
Do you want to
I
use the
will
blue
roll
one?
it later.
Okay,
I am in the zone.
that's
Auto's
fine.
on.
I thought I would offer to give you that chance.
Aw, DeRitten says we need to talk about your performance. You missed an opportunity here.
14 out of weighted dice in front of me.
Because I have standards, and unfortunately, those standards mean that I can't make weighted dice.
Oh, hold up.
Here's the thing. No,
That's
no.
baby back bullshit. And I'm going to
No.
tell you 2 reasons why.
Hey.
1, you've told me that you have weighted die.
I actually don't have
Two.
weighted die.
So you
I
lied to
said
me
I've
then, or you're
looked-
lying to me now?
No,
Which
I
is
said I've
false?
looked. I said I've looked at weighted die. I've never actually gotten any, and even the most weighted die I would have would be these dragon ones, and they still roll randomly.
Yes, D-written question. Do you want to see Click Clack Shiny Math Rocks?
Do you hear that?
He actually saw the Click Clack Shiny Math Rocks.
How much of a set for a poly die?
Always roll max.
Max.
So how much?
We'll
for-
talk. We'll talk. We'll see.
Oh.
There's
boy.
money attached to it.
Yeah,
Wow.
you said that- oh, that might be the confusion. You don't use weighted die, but you said that you've made a few sets.
No, I've
No,
never
she's never made weighted
unintentionally,
dice.
unintentionally because of bubbles.
Okay. That might have been it. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Regardless, we're getting
Dice
off.
are hard to make.
So there were your goals. How about you, Dr. Sexy?
Mine are pretty simple. Keep an eye on Frank. Check in
Buddy.
over the phone with the other Tremere in regards with how Sarah's doing, and also check in on how Johnny's doing. There is a part of me that's considering possibly trying to see if I can turn Sarah to see if that would help, but I'm not sure I want to do that yet. And then prepare 3 different rituals.
Which rituals?
Hill Frank.
So the first one is thanks to Artemis, deflection of wood doom. The second one is mirror of second sight, and I would use that to see if I can see anything on Frank. And the fourth and the last one is the shaft of belated dissolution, which I would then keep on me at all times.
Oh, I've got one of those.
Nice.
Yeah.
That will be good.
Sorry.
No,
I
you're
saw
not.
an opening
Don't
there.
lie.
I
You're
saw
not
an
sorry at
opening
all.
there. I'm a smidge sorry because it sounded dirty.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Let's
yeah,
just
right.
say-
That name, right, Written. Like it's not just me. Like you see an opportunity to work the shaft, and you're just like, it's right there. I got to work with it.
Back in the day when these rituals were named, Shaft was not actually a name for
Shaft wasn't a hero.
But would you really want your shaft named belated dissolutions? Honest to God. Because
I
that's
mean-
not impressive.
Oh,
if you
fuck
shorthand it,
my
it's
life.
Shaft, which could mean any number of things.
No.
You would know.
It's okay that I would.
Oh
know,
my
but
God,
no one
it's-
else would.
Oh my god, it's
Wait,
so
no, we
huge!
need the
No,
second, we
it's
need the
not, but
second.
that's okay.
All right, go ahead and break out the skull. Get the trifecta.
Because we know she
All
has
right.
it with her.
Moving on to Frank's goals. It grows a little
Just sit the fuck where he is.
like this.
Go find a guy who drives a Porsche. Why is his shaft a belated dissolution too?
Oh!
That's belated compensation. No, Frank has no goals because he's stuck in time and space until Gwen rips his ass out of it.
That's fair.
Or until a month and a half ends.
Hmm.
You believe you bubbled yourself for a month and a half.
You know,
well, you think for a month and a half, but I'm guessing.
time is relative, so it's probably going to be next week. Or Tuesday.
Or Tuesday.
We'll find out.
Or sometime. We never know with True Bruja with time, because time is relative, and
Especially since
time's a
time's
wheel in
fucked
constant
up.
motion.
There-
Thank you, the animal
Is
man.
that just so that I know? Is that like a thin blood ritual?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
that's True Bruja, Clan True Bruja. They have the discipline of Temporis, which allows them control and knowledge of time and
Gotcha.
space.
That's the
I-
difference between True Bruja and Bruja. Bruja do not have Temporis, they have celerity.
Yep, they focus on the speed and using their blood internally. True Bruja focus on it externally.
Nice.
It's actually pretty good because you can tell the difference between both clans, even though they're technically from the same antediluvian, or same. Yeah.
I want to drain that one dry. Can we make that happen? All right,
You-
Sybil, New Deal.
No, you are not. You are not going to do
Unlimited
that.
cosmic power.
Oh my god. Itty bitty living space.
Living spaces, yeah.
No,
Like
but
her box.
I was actually quite impressed that you have been handling Trooper Hub pretty well. It's just more that emotional state that's taxing on you, and I don't blame you on it.
Yeah,
Can we pin that on him being a poverty vampire?
yeah. Blame me being a thin blood because it means I'm closer to my humanity than any true Bruja before me.
Yes, but
15th generation.
but what happens when you become?
Well, I become a lot less enthusiastic about things and a lot more. I'm going to eat you alive because fuck you. That's why.
Yes, but can you do that for 4 hours?
It really depends.
Can you
do you want
do
me to
that
sound
while
like this
dealing with
for 4
Amelia?
hours? Do you want me to
Yeah.
sound like stale bread for 4 hours?
Can you deal with that while
Gabe
dealing
does.
with Amelia?
I feel like I'm just going to put all 30 experience points into performance so I can start sounding a little bit happier and a little bit more angry about things.
What's wrong with sounding like stale bread?
Wait a minute. You
Do I
do
look like a doctor?
actually. You do
Diagnosis terminal.
You do realize where a lot of Gwen's stats are in performance.
I know. That's why I'm saying I'm waiting for that switch. Because as a thin blood, I can pull that off. As soon as I get turned and I'm,
Here's the
Vampire
question.
Supreme.
Here's the question. Will you get changed to True Bruja?
I'm using Gwen's favor for that.
So yes.
Or are you gonna turn to La Bamba?
If I turn into a La Bamba, I'm not sure how I can handle it.
Oh.
I might just go to the Sabat if that happens. I might actually just, turn to the Sabat and say, "Sup, homies."
Yeah, what's butter left?
I know many
Clearly enough of
reasons
them to
why
have a
that is bad
gunfight.
idea.
Clearly enough of them to have a gunfight with Artemis right down the road. Like, let's be
Wow.
fair.
That's only a pack.
Okay.
Eh,
Well, we killed one set. Well, I didn't, but William did. Well, William didn't. William made a guy in that pack kill a bunch of his friends.
that's the important bit.
Yeah. All right. So moving forward, Frank has no goals. William's goals are to survive and to thwart Josh's plans that he's doing on July 3rd and calling in the few favors he's been able to accumulate to do. Not exactly a power play, but a counter play.
Right.
A counter power play?
Well, I mean, I don't think Josh's is a power play. I think it's legit just going to be like 9/11 up in Chicago.
Not wrong. So actually, next session, even though it's on July 4th, and I know certain people can't be there for the whole thing, we're gonna really fast forward the catching up and finishing up that last scene so we can get into the coup de grace of it all. Because technically, even though it's July 4th for us, it will actually be July 3rd.
What do you mean, 2nd July 4th?
Pretty much.
Okay, so moving a little bit forward, we got our goals. What's your goals, Junie? What do the NPCs have in mind? Just, a brief 1-minute synopsis. Go.
Find more artifacts, find the cursed artifacts, find the way to cure the artifacts, and also trying to establish a power play and power hold in Chicago, utilizing not only the Camarilla, but the Anarchs as well, against each other, and then tying into the fact that with these artifacts combined, unleashing what they can in Chicago.
So it sounds like that was Josh, that was the Sabat, that was...
All of vampire kind cure the artifacts.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm sorry.
When?
There's only really... there's a main boss in play with 4 or 5 underlings. That's really the whole thing.
Oh, we're the underlings because we
No.
are all in the shadows.
You're not the underlings. You're the ones that came up and are the ones we're going, oh, we didn't see them there. Now we have to factor them into our play.
No, we're not here. You don't see.
We don't exist. We're just trying to cure a
No.
disease.
Sure, pop me your obfuscation.
Okay.
Actually, I can do that.
I don't.
Oh, I'll give you a vial. I could just use my own blood since it's in my blood.
There you go.
But do you really want tainted La Bamba blood in your veins?
Who said La Bamba was in your veins?
I'm assuming that it's inside every pore and molecule of my being because it's attached to my shadow. I don't
Who
see it as
says
an
it's a
external
La Bamba?
force.
Maybe it's not a
It's
La Bamba.
Sybil. Sybil is a La Bamba.
Maybe it's not Sybil.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it might not be Sybil. It might just be imitation Sybil.
Sybil Light. Diet Sybil.
I am going off the lore I
calorie.
know as player knowledge.
That's fair.
Also-
That's fair.
Also, on top of that, she did say one of her names were Octavia.
Yeah, and he did mention that. Was that something that Gabe had picked up on during the flashback? Was me overtly saying, "Does Octavia mean anything to any of you?" Because I remember he voiced it. Is that something Gabe had seen in the
I'm
scene?
sure.
I mean, I need a verbal confirmation here, Junie. You're the storyteller.
I said I'm
point.
sure.
Yeah, but remember when
That's
you
not
said
a yes or no.
when you said something, didn't I roll for that and I didn't mean anything to me? So
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Ron.
but you would remember the name.
I would. I would remember it.
And so that would carry some importance to what happened.
I'm sure, meaning I don't remember what had happened, and I know that I had her. I know I had Gabe roll for something.
Junie Von Etch-a-Sketch. You just shook it.
I just went to
I
went to bed only a couple hours ago.
You shook your sketch, yo.
No, this is fine because that's what VODs are for. VODs are also uploaded.
That's why we do this.
on
It's not for
YouTube.
you guys. It's for a storyteller to have a drive-by. Not just kidding. We love your faces. So, closing
There's
comments,
links for our
remarks? Huh?
I posted the socials.
Oh, yes. Excellent. Any other closing
Junie
remarks,
said
comments,
something.
ideas? Things
Are we
that-
showing off dice?
Yes, we can end with that.
Oh, we also have to end with your rose and thorns.
Did you want to do the die first, or do you want to do
While
rose
we're
and-
looking at beautiful die, you can give us your rose and thorns.
Yep.
That's fair. So, long and short of it is, Rose, yesterday's session was magnificent. It was top shelf. I particularly liked having to correct the camping analogies constantly, because I feel like I'm the only one that's gone camping more recently. Having to reference twigs and foliage and leaves. Ooh, those are shiny.
I know, right?
That's also a rose. Actually, that's Ankh, but...
I'm trying to get the focus on the camera to work right. I've been fighting this camera all morning.
I could kind of see the purple that you had mentioned, though.
Yeah, the slight iridescence.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Thorn?
And then-
I froze myself, motherfucker. And these are our vampire die that our very own Nerdy Encounters is casting, sanding
That's
down,
why the
making
focus is
shiny.
bitch, I'm trying
And,
to focus control on the wrong one.
We will post this eventually on
Further
our
down the
socials.
line, I imagine she'll probably be selling them as well. If people are interested, make sure you give Nerdy Encounters a follow if you might be interested in joining the family, at least with die.
There's the
Currently,
beast die.
Just don't die while supporting.
lol.
Or do.
Yeah, no, okay, if I hold it like this, you can kind of
If you wake up as
the
a
flash of
premier,
purple
it's a win.
Yeah, just let
and how
us
it
know.
rolls in the middle.
Yeah, no, I could see it.
Yeah, looks solid.
They look nice though.
But yeah, so that's
is a show.
sorry, one moment.
Okay, go ahead.
What you could do
Sorry.
is you guys can check out some other wonderful VTM streams. I apparently forgot to set that command.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. So currently on our chat, you see our YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Kick them a follow if you haven't already. Check out some of our daily shower thoughts.
Here we
and
go.
As our clan members, keep up with what we're doing when we stream.
Apparently
Normally it's
broken.
every Saturday, unless bad things happen to mediocre vampires at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also, as Smalls mentioned, have a whole slew of other families that we keep up with, that we follow, and that we enjoy.
I don't want to think about that either.
You know,
Broke everything again.
I stay in key. And on that note, thank you for joining us for Take a Breath. We love your faces. We'll catch you guys next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, July 4th, yo.
Have a great night. We are going to be hosting Thread Raiders, also known as Savannah by Night. I hope you all have a great one. We'll see
Fixed
y'all
it.
next week. Yay!
Love your faces.
Bye.
Until next time, family.